Okay, perfect. Sorry, I had a problem with initiating the recording. So now I will share my screen and I will start the presentation. So welcome everybody again. This is the webinar for the open call of our project of Iclimabuilt. I will start by introducing a bit the project. What's the goal of the project? What's the type of the project? So the Iclimabuilt is a EU-funded project under the EU program Horizon 2020. It started in March 2021. It involves 27 different partners from 14 different countries in Europe. And it's basically a open innovation test bed, OETB. This means that it's an entity that offers the access to physical facilities and pilot lines and to services as well that are
Petros?
Yes.
Petros, just we cannot see any presentation in the screen.
Oh, sorry.
And also your image is frozen. I don't know if you have problems with the connection.
No, I don't have, but can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes, but there is nothing. We cannot see the presentation. If you are.
Now, are you able to see it?
Not yet.
Now not?
No.
You're still frozen.
Maybe it's better if you switch off the camera.
Yes, maybe. Let's...
Now, yes, we can see now we are watching your calendar. Now, yes, the presentation.
Sorry, but Teams has some problems with my PC lately. So I was saying that it's an open innovation test bed. This means that it's an entity that offers access to physical facilities, pilot lines, and services developed in the framework of our project. That are required for the development, the testing, and the upscaling of the innovative materials and services in industrial environments. The goal of the project is to create this open access, this open innovation test bed, this open access ecosystem for developing, upscaling and testing innovations related to building envelope materials and technical systems via its 9 pilot lines that we will show after this introduction section. And the goal is to reach the nearly zero energy building, the goal set by the Commission for the buildings and for the green, buildings. The open call is our tool, is our means to validate the ecosystem, to validate what we have developed so far. And at the same time is a very important opportunity for SMEs, for small and medium high-tech firms, to scale up their achievements, to test their technologies in order to cope effectively with translating the research results into innovations. Iclimabuilt project will offer the services related to 6 building blocks which are 6, let's say, blocks of services that we will show also next, and to the 9 pilot lines that we have developed in the project. So now we are gonna go through the pilot lines of the project. Our colleague Andrea from INEGI will explain to you better the 9 pilot lines.
Good afternoon, everyone. Pietro, maybe I can share my screen. It will be easier if you agree.
Yes, sure.
You have to allow me to share my screen. You have to give me permission to share.
1 second. Can you share now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Can you see my screen in presenters mode, in presentation mode?
Yes, we do.
So,
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so I'll be briefly introducing you to the 9 pilot lines from our project, which are here described. And starting with pilot 1, this pilot line is related to phase change materials. And basically, these materials can be used during their phase change by the means of collecting their heat. And how can we apply this to the construction sector? Basically, we can use the cold night air to lower peak temperatures during the day, for instance. We can store heat from regenerative energy and overall increase the efficiency of air conditioners and heat pumps, which allows us to save energy. The partner doing this work is Rubyderm. You can see here their website if you want to check for more information. And basically, Rubyderm can fine-tune the PCMs they produce in terms of the use of organic or inorganic salts, fine-tune the temperature transition range, the heat storage capacity of these materials, and also the type of packaging that they use. For instance, on the right, we have an image of a compact storage modulus that they produced filled with PCMs. In terms of their work in the project, they've been mainly working by means of reducing the quality control time for their production and their material traceability system, and also in optimizing one of the processes for the BCM's production. At the moment, their production capacity is more than 300 compact storage modulus plates per day. Moving to pilot line 2. This one is related to thermoelectric generators that we abbreviate to TEGs. In technology, our partner is a patented flexible design for TEGs that enables it to work more efficiently and at lower temperature differences than the existing TEGs on the market. And we have an example on the images top right, where you can see it being well, it's not only flat, you can change the morphology. In terms of the project, technology has been working in reducing the production time for producing these materials, and also increasing the production per batch, along with the use of more sustainable raw materials. At the moment, they have the production capacity of 0.5 square meters per day. And on the bottom right image, we have a test case or a demonstrator which is a fully autonomous wireless humidity sensor using this flexible tech, and this can be implemented in buildings. More information can be found also on the partners website that is on the slide. Moving to pilot line 3, this one is related to customizable 3D printed components for indoor environmental quality and improvements in terms of light conditions, acoustics, humidity control, and CO2 air filtration. BioG3D is the partner responsible for this work. On this slide, you can see images of examples of components that they build. And along with this, they also employ computation and parametric design algorithms for multiple design variations and fine-tune details based on custom needs. In this project, they've been working a lot in quality control through inline monitoring and machine learning, custom toolpaths and optimization parameters to reduce not only printing duration, but also material waste production. They have also been doing some AM system modifications to upgrade and enhance the capacity of their 3D printers. And also they have been working in formulation development to obtain multifunctionalities. On the images, there are some examples of their work regarding these improvements. And on the right, you can see their daily production capacity, for instance, in terms of VAT photopolymerization and also FFF. More information, once again, can be found on the partner's website, which is here described. Moving to pilot line 4, this pilot line deals with the cement and concrete-based materials. We have 3 partners involved. RISE in terms of cellular lightweight concrete, HTWK produced textile reinforced concrete, and TU Dresden produced carbon fibers from sustainable resources like lignin. So basically we have 3 different pilot lines that combined originate wall panels for the construction. In terms of improvements, for instance, HTWK developed an industrial line for producing the reinforced concrete panels in a continuous way, while, for instance, RISE was able to improve their CLC production to 400 liters per batch. On the right, we have the production capacity for the CLC and for the panels, along with the maximum or typical dimensions that these partners can produce. On the images, we have examples of a wall panel produced in this pilot line, which is at the moment installed in and being tested in a living laboratory in Spain. Moving to pilot line 5, here our partner TUHH produces aerogels, which are lightweight super insulation materials. And they've been used in this project, or they've been incorporated into the CLC materials in pilot line 4 and also into common mortar finishing layers within pilot line 7 that I will talk later on. In terms of upgrades, TUHH changed a lot or made a big upgrade on their pilot line, introducing new features such as new gelation and solvent exchange plant, automation of solvent recovery, and CO2 recycle line, and they were able to increase their production capacity from around 4 to 60 liters of aerogels per batch, and they are able at the moment to produce 2,000 liters of final aerogel particles per year. Once again, more information can be found in the partners' website. Moving to pilot line 6, here we're dealing with insulation components using waste materials. We also have 2 different partners working in this pilot line. SETMA, that deals with lightweight concretes, incorporating recycled aggregates, and Phoenix, which produces insulation mineral foams, also incorporating recycled raw materials. On the images, we have examples of the lightweight concretes and the mineral foams produced, and their combination results in the production of blocks, concrete blocks. During the project, these partners worked to increase their production capacity, and they also developed a block prototype with the dimensions described in the presentation. And these blocks are also being tested in a living laboratory. Here are some images of the wall construction and once it was finalized. At the moment, these partners are able to produce between 200 and 250 liters of concrete per batch and 2 cubic meters of mineral foams per week. Here are also the websites from these partners, if you want to look for more information. Now we move to pilot line 7, which deals with multifunctional composite sandwiches. And the idea for this pilot line was also to enable the combination of materials from the other pilot lines. So here we have an example of a panel which is composed by a core foam followed by 2 composite laminates, where we used basalt fibers to improve sustainability. And then we added a compact storage module filled with PCMs, and we also added the aerogels in the mortar, which is the finishing layer of the wall, along with an omniphobic coating also from another pilot line. Through the duration of the project, we improved our pilot line by increasing the operating temperature to higher temperatures, by reducing the production cycle, and also by changing the production method from hand lamination to an automated vacuum infusion process. And we also worked in the monitoring and the control. On the images, we have our pilot line, our equipment, and on the right, we have an example of a wall panel that was also installed in one of our living labs. At the moment, our production capacity is panels of 1 by 2 meters. And you can also find more information on the website. Pilot line 8 deals with solar active envelope materials and structures for building integrated photovoltaics and solar thermal systems. And basically, this pilot line is a sputter line for the application of a morphocoating. Fraunhofer is the partner doing this work, and they are able to create logo prints using their morphocolor film. They are able to add patterns and do two-tone coating in different PV modules. Once again, you have available the website from the partner if you want to check for more information. During the project, they've been working in improving the coating application into the PV modules. In here are described some of the conditions, and the images show examples of the PV modules coated with morphocolor before and after its installation in living laboratories. In this case, it's also in Spain. At the moment, they are able to coat panels up to 4 by 1.2 square meters. Last but not least, we have pilot line 9, which is dedicated to omniphobic coatings. And basically, CEDATEC develops and optimizes coating solutions adapted to different substrates. Here are some examples of applications, for instance, to increase the lifetime of PV devices, minimize cleaning operation in glasses, and also increasing the lifetime and insulation of concretes. The example images just show how the behavior of a mortar after being coated with this omniphobic coating. In terms of developments through the project, CEDATEC has an automated process with a maximum temperature of 45 degrees Celsius. Here are some other capacities, and they are able to coat 1.3 by 1.3 square meters panels, let's say, that require drying in an oven, but they also have coating formulations that do not require oven, and for this they are able to coat panels with up to 2.5 by 1.5 square meters. On the images, we have examples of the application of coating in different test cases from the project. I have not mentioned all the test cases developed within the different pilot lines, but there are a few more, and through the open call we hope to increase even further this number. And in terms of pilot lines, this is all from my side. If you have any questions, I'll be here once everyone presents to answer them.
Hello. Thank you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm going to share my screen. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So yes, I will start by presenting then the service part related with the open call. So as you know, and in order to guarantee that the best service possible, we want you, of course, when you present us the best proposal as well. Please make a detailed analysis on how your project can benefit most from the pilot lines and our service offerings that we're about to present. Try to focus on the differentiating factors related with your proposal. What distinguishes you from anyone else? How can you help? How can we help you solve your problems? And what kind of contribution and added value, of course, does your proposal bring to the field? So yeah, focus on your story. Related with the services, So we divided the knowledge that is being developed under Iclimabuilt into 6 building blocks. Of course, as Andrea presented, these will be represented into 9 different pilot lines, but these are the 6 main fields where Iclimabuilt is also providing its services, and where it can contribute as well for your proposals and for the open call. The availability of the professionals that are working in the project for the mentoring part, the guidance throughout the test case will be fundamental, of course, for the successful implementation of your projects. And we are looking for a fit in this case in terms of the requirements and validation from our own portfolio of services. So yeah, in a nutshell, the companies will submit a proposal with the open call. We will, based on a series of factors which will be presented afterwards, evaluate it, try to make it, and try to assess these proposals, and then of course provide the services and work individually with you to deliver them as best as possible. Related with the building blocks, we have 6 of them. In total, right now, we have 72 different services from these 6. The first one is related with materials by design. Basically, this encompasses all of the development of advanced materials, composite sandwiches, cellular lightweight concretes, thin wall HPC components, and sustainable concretes. And it also involves this part, the prediction part, the optimization of the materials and processes. And this will basically be concluded with the MTAS platform, so our centralized platform where all the database and all the data will be stored. Some specific services might include the development of the composite sandwiches, the phase change materials development, omniphobic coating deposition, and also building integration related with the performance based on design support. For the second one, it's all dedicated to characterization and the testing of different services. These will be done at various levels: chemical, atomistic, and microstructure, so in different stages. Some of them will be done in the material. Some of them can also be provided in a large-scale testing in outdoor. And yeah, so both materials and components in the laboratory testing are also available here. Some of these services include the characterization of the structure in multiple ways, as I said, chemical, atomistic, yeah, microstructural, and so on. And then also related with the response of the materials, electrical, electrochemical, optical, and sound properties, for example. Environmental testing with thermal, fire, and climate properties, and then also some mechanical properties related with the viscosity and friction of the multiple materials. For building block number 3, we have the virtual performance testing services. So these are all related with the analysis and optimization of the performance of the materials. This can be done either in modeling, simulation, or virtual prototyping testing. And basically, yes, using simulation, workflows, and different testing elements, we will evaluate these factors. Some of these services can be multiphysics modeling, can be done by multiphysics modeling, FEM, DAM, and DOE simulations, virtual prototype design in real-life conditions. So we have all of these available tools also related to performing this type of test, these virtual tests. Then building block number 4 is only dedicated to sustainability. So sustainability, safety assessment, and standards and regulation. Yeah, super straightforward. This building block services that will be provided related with the life cost analysis, life cycle costs, services, the risks, the safety and toxicological assessment of the different materials, and also a possibility to identify any regulations, environmental regulations, standardization at a European level. That can also help you in the identification and the assessment towards market. Then we have the upscaling services. These are all dedicated with the expansion of the production capabilities for the different materials. It has quality assurance processes, 3D printed components, And yeah, so basically for the wide adoption and implementation in construction projects, they are divided into upscaling support and process optimization, and some examples can be the upscaling of concrete-based materials, optimization of the production conditions from small to a larger scale, and inline monitoring as well, related with the production for defect detections. And lastly, building block number 6 is dedicated only to business and financial and innovation support. Basically, there is these three helix structure that we are developing related with financing, investment, and innovation. And yeah, so all things related with matchmaking of different European projects, support in creation of a sustainable business model, financing schemes, brokerage and market research. All of this is encompassed on this building block, which you can also make use of. So yeah, some specific services, the financing strategies within the EU Horizon and other programs, IPR management, market research, and business model innovation. That's it from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Antonio. So now I'm gonna give a few details about the open call. Can you see my screen correctly?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so about the eligibility of the applicants of the open call. So the open call is for, as I said before, SMEs, small and medium enterprises, and R&D organizations. They could be for-profit and non-for-profit organizations. It could be one applicant or also a consortium up to three members. And it's addressed, let's say, for enterprises or R&D organizations for any product from all the activities, fields, and sectors that could benefit from our services and our expertise. Also, applicants should not have a conflict of interest with any of the members of the Iclimabuilt consortium. So the idea of the open call is to deploy a set of test cases where the applicants will be able to develop or test or upscale their technologies, referring to materials for building envelopes, bringing in their case and so their technology. Our project, our ecosystem will offer for free the related services upon availability. These related services should have to be described by the applicants. They should describe the lack in knowledge and how the selected services are expected to bridge the knowledge gaps. Apart from the services, we will give 70% of funding, and this will cover the consumables, the travel costs, the logistics, etc. The total budget foreseen for the open call is more than 1 million euros, which will be allocated ideally into 10-12 proposals. That means that each winning proposal will receive a funding up to 150,000 euro. The duration of the projects are for 9-10 months. So how to apply? In order to apply, you should go to our site, our single entry point, more specifically. And in the homepage of the site, you will find the announcement of the open call. You click submit your proposal, and you are redirected in the open call section of the site, where you find also the details briefly explained of the open call. Here you also find the guide for applicants that you can download, and also you find two important documents that are the registration form and the application form. The registration form is the document, is a Word file, is a document to be downloaded and filled with the applicant's informations and the contact details, while the application form is, let's say, the body of the proposal, and it's a document to be filled with a text and with a description of the action of the project. So you download the templates, you complete them, and you upload them at the bottom of the page. And you click on submit, and the proposal is submitted, is sent to us. So now we are gonna talk a bit about the timeline and the evaluation process of the open call. Our colleague Jaime.
Yes. Okay. Can you show the presentation? Because
Yes.
for me is that.
I keep the presentation, you mean?
Yes.
Yes,
Let's
sure.
keep the presentation
Sure.
on the screen.
Yes.
We cannot see the presentation. No, maybe I can do it. Yes. Okay, yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, as more of you know already, the open call was open 2 months ago, and you have still time to submit the proposal, because it will be closed at the end of the year, the 13th of December. Just after the submission deadline, the evaluation will start, probably at the beginning of January, and the results of the evaluation will be communicated in February. The idea is to have 1 month for the negotiation for the contract agreement, and just after the contract agreement, the project could start. The idea is to start the projects in March, if possible, or as late in April. As already was commented by Petros, the project duration will be around 9-10 months as maximum. So the project will last during the rest of 2024. And after the project, when the project is finished, we will analyze we will have meetings with the winners to know which is the feedback regarding the service you have you got from our site, to know if the services are replying well your expectations. Can you go to the next slide? Okay, regarding the evaluation criteria, there are some general criteria. The first one is that the test cases, they need to fit the ecosystem capacity and the services to be provided by the different pilot line owners. Other important thing is that the TRL cannot be lower than 4 or 5. 4 is the minimum TRL. If possible, it is better to start at TRL 5, but TRL 4 is also eligible, but lower TRLs are not valid. It is important that you prepare a good and solid business plan, reflecting the market potential of the solution you propose. We do not need only innovative ideas, but we need to see that there is a clear business plan. We need new test cases. Then please check the website of Iclimabuilt to see which test cases are already under development in the project, because we need new ones. And Okay, you need to consider also the collaboration with pilot lines of the project. Then we will prioritize when selecting the proposals those that collaborate at least with one pilot line of Iclimabuilt. Can you go to the next slide, please? Okay, the proposal has a template of only 8 pages. We expect that you will use at least 2 for the excellence part. The structure of the template is similar to a European proposal. There is an excellence part, other part focus on impact, and a third part focus on implementation. In the excellence part, you will have you can use around 1 or 2 pages. In this beginning of the proposal, you need to show the ambition, the innovation of your idea. If there is any regulation, standardization, or certification aspect that needs to be emphasized, please also include in this part. And we need to see that there is an interesting methodology and that there is a soundness approach of in your idea, in your project idea. Okay, regarding impact, please use around 2 pages to explain this part. If you need 3 pages, is also okay. But we need to see all these aspects all the aspects that are shown in this slide, but you will find also in the guidelines and in the template of the proposal of all these aspects. You need to explain the market opportunity, the need that you are trying to reply to, or the challenge you want to address. We need to see that you have already a commercial strategy and you know how to put in the market the solution or the technology you want to develop and to upscale in the project. We need to know that you know the channels, you know who are the key partners with which you have to work for reaching the market. Okay, other important thing is that you need to show us that the background, there is a background behind your idea, and that it is well protected, or you have considered the protection of the background. Other aspect, like in any proposal, you need to demonstrate that there will have a very important impact, this new technology in the economy of your company. But also the last one is that you will have that the project will have also impact at societal, environmental, and at economic level, but thinking in the general market, not only in the business of your company. Okay, next slide, please. Regarding implementation, in this case we expect around 4 pages, because we need to understand which work you need to do in the project. Then please try to explain as best as possible the work plan, identifying the key inputs, the deliverables, and the time schedule. You have also to emphasize which type of collaboration you will have with the pilot lines of the project, apart from the work you will do by yourself. Also try to explain clearly the team that will be involved from your side in the project. We need to see that you have experience in managing innovation projects and also in collaborating with other entities. Okay, other important thing to be explained in this part is the TRL. Not only explain the initial TRL that will be explained in the excellence part, but also how you expect to progress from the initial TRL to the final TRL during the project. then we think that in 9-10 months it's not possible to go from TRL 4 to 7, but it is possible to scale 1 or maybe 2 levels, and then try to explain how you think through the work plan you explain, you can go from the starting TRL to the final TRL. And finally, we need to see that you identify some risk and that you have some mitigation actions already thought. Okay, can you go to this? Okay. Regarding the scoring in the evaluation, the 3 parts of the proposal, then that are remember the excellence, the impact, and the implementation will be scored, and they will be scored from 0 to 5, like in any European proposal, and then you will have a score for each section. From 5 means excellent and 0 very poor, and you have here the scale you can check in any moment. Can you go to this? Okay. Then you need to have at least in each individual criteria a score of 3 or higher to have a proposal that could be approved. But also the overall score has to be higher than equal or higher than 10. Then it is important to have not only 3 in the different sections, but also to have a total score of more than of 10 or more than 10. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, now it's your floor.
Thank you, Jaime. Thank you very much. So now we will talk about the contractual aspects of the winning projects. So there is the contractual agreement, which is the agreement that will be signed between all the parties that are involved in the action. This is a legal document. It is a binding legal document that sets the rights and obligations of all the parties during and also after the implementation of the project. And it is made of 4 annexes. The Annex 1 are the general conditions. Annex 2 is the description of work. So it's a, let's say, revised version of the proposal after the fine-tuning period. The Annex 3 is a description of a payment plan, whether it's pre-financing, interim payment, final payment, and this is something that will be ad hoc for each project. It depends on the features of the project. It depends on how the project is structured. So will be, let's say, personalized for each project. And then the Annex 4 is an agreement also between all the parties involved about the intellectual property rights. This is also an ad hoc, let's say, annex. It will be specific for the specific type of the project and for depending on the specific services that the project uses. Other legal documents, there is a confidentiality agreement that defines the concept of confidential information and the related processes. The SME self-declaration, where the applicant states that the company is that it is an SME, it's a small and medium enterprise, and the company is not under liquidation. And moreover, a financial stability check will be performed by us. And winning applicants will be required to submit their financial statements of the last 2 years in order for us to verify the financial soundness. This is a common practice also of the European Commission, so we will apply it also in this case. So now our colleague Miguel will say a few words about our questionnaire.
Yeah, I want to take the opportunity, thanks Petros, to promote the training activities that we do within Iclimabuilt project. And I will ask all the SMEs or research and development companies that are here to fill in the questionnaire. So we are supporting SMEs in the innovation pathway and to transfer the knowledge. And for that, we need to know how we can help you to transfer our knowledge. So please, I will put it in the chat. So please fill it in so we can focus the efforts of the training activities to help you. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Miguel. So we have finished our presentation for this webinar. So please, if you have any questions, we will be happy to answer. Yes, you can also ask questions in the chat. I just saw the message in the chat. So there is a question about payments. What kind of payments are available? Is there an advanced payment from the 70% funding support, or there are only reimbursement payments for the costs made by the applicant? So basically the funding is 70-30, so we will fund you, as you said, the 70%. In relation to the kind of payment, as I said before, the financial scheme will be defined during the fine-tuning phase of the winning applications. So it will depend on the project, on the specific project. It may be, for example, made of milestones, so the payment will happen, let's say, after the milestone, the reaching a milestone or deliverable or reporting period. It will depend on how the project is structured, let's say. And this is for sure. It's something that it's not. It can be, let's say, dealt with during the fine tuning of the application. It's not something that is required to let's say to submit a proposal. This is not something that goes into the application. It's something that is established after and also in accordance with the partners involved in the action. So there is another question about the open call if the open call funding covers effort, personal costs, or it is only limited to consumable travels, etc. So basically, the effort and personal costs, it will be given for free with the services upon availability. And the aim of the funding, of the 70% funding, is to cover the consumables. So travels, logistics costs, materials, and things like that. What are the IP engagements that you require? So the IP, let's say the IPR section of the project, as I said before, it will be, let's say, written down and signed by all the partners. And this is an important part of the project. It's related to the results of the project that can be used after the end of the project. So after the 10 months that the funded project will be implemented. So about the results of the project, it's there should be the fine-tuning phase after the let's say the decision on the winning proposal. During the month of the fine-tuning phase, it will be discussed between all the parties, between the partners of Iclimabuilt and the the applicants. It will be discussed which results will be, let's say, owned at the end of the project by which exactly which party. Is there a list of ineligible costs activities? If I could please give us some examples or for eligible activities and costs regarding developing phase change materials in TR 4, 5, 6, 7 outside the partner services. Ineligible costs activities, well, it's the eligible costs will be let's say, as I said, consumables, so will be travel, logistics, materials that of course can be declared as costs made in the framework of the project. Some examples regarding developing phase change materials in tier 4, 5, and 6 and 7. This I'm not the most suitable person to answer you to this question, so I don't know if some other colleague wants to try to answer this.
Yes, I was checking the template for the proposal for the proposal submission. I think you need to show to include in the part of implementation a short detail of the budget you will need for your project. You need to explain the budget you will need, and in principle the eligibility conditions are the same than in a European project. Then you can consider travel cost. You can consider also the person month you will need to perform the tasks that have to be done by you, and also the consumables. In fact, the material that if you are applying with a new material that you want to test or you want to upscale its application or production, you will have to provide the material, and then you can consider this material as part of your budget. And regarding equipment, I think it's not. I think we have not discussed about that, but I think it's not. Well, if it is necessary to be used in the project, I think it is also eligible because it is possible also in European proposals. Regarding the TRL activities, in principle, they do not limit. You can consider any person month you need for the proposal. All the activities, depending on the TRL they are in the same level, let's say. I don't know if I was clear with my explanation.
Let's see if there are some other questions. You can type them in the chat or raise your hand and I will give you the opportunity to ask the question.
Yeah, I put in the chat what is indicated in the form in the template about the budget explanation. You need to provide a budget estimation.
Thank you, Jaime. So there is a question. If someone can utilize more than one pilot lines for a test case developed under the open call, are there material quantity limitations? So about the pilot line, you can, of course, use more than one pilot line. There are no limitations, but let's say that it has to be everything has to match. Let's say the budget has to be in the limits of the budget. And so apart from that, there are no limitations. Someone could make use can use more than one pilot line, and also one pilot line, for example, and some services combined, some services that our ecosystem offers. So there is no limitation on that.
Yes, you just need to consider that, as it is indicated in the guidelines, that the funding you can receive is from 50,000 to 150,000, and depending on it, you can dimension as you want the proposal. And if you need 3 pilot lines collaborating with you, and all could be included in the budget, in principle is feasible.
So the 50, 150,000. There's a question if this is the money for the total open call project budget, or if it's including the 30%. So I guess your question is if the 150,000 is the total, or it's just the 70%. So no, this is the 70%. So it's not including the 30% of the applicant. This is the budget that we have. We have approximately 1 million, more than 1 million in total for the open call. So the goal is to fund 10-12 proposals and to give between 50,000 and 150,000 of funding. So yes, so this would be the 70% that is gonna be funded by us.
Yes, you need to consider that that's something that I forgot to mention in the presentation, that the proposals will be ranked, and we will start funding those with a higher score, and then we will try to fund as much as possible, but those that have a higher score have more possibilities. If you are, for example, the number 8, and we have only 100,000 euros, and your proposal is asking for 150,000 euros, maybe we cannot fund your proposal and we have to go to the next one. Then it's like in any other European project. You need to take into account that the funding availability will depend on the position you are ranked in during the evaluation process.
So yes, in the slides it was stated that services will be provided upon availability. Yeah, this means that well, some services may be not, let's say, totally available, or let's say they will be maybe not available in the quantity, let's say, that the applicant needs them. So the services will be, of course, they have to be taken into account during the proposal. So when someone writes the proposal, has to take into account all the services that he needs, and then in the, let's say, after the awarding procedure, it will be, let's say, fine-tuned. It will be decided exactly how, let's say, which services and in which those, let's say, in which combination will be used, also upon availability of the partner that that provides this service. But for sure, it's all services are, let's say, the goal is for all services to be available by the time that the partner needs them. Sorry, not the partner. The applicant needs them in order to implement its project. So there is not a limit. There is not a limit on the number of services that someone could use. As I said before, it should be within the budget, within the 150,000, let's say. And you can find a list of the services in our site. We will send after the webinar. We will send an email to everyone that participated to the webinar with the more precise, let's say, links, with all the links and the precise information of our open call and of our project in general. And there you can find also detailed information about services and pilot lines. So the services are given basically for free. So the services are given on top of the funding. So there are the services which are for free, given by the Iclimabuilt project. And then on top of that, there is the funding that will cover the budget of the proposal. So the consumables that we were explaining before. So someone, let's say, there's no need to consider the pricing of the service in the proposal. Also, the costs of the use of the pilot lines, they don't have to be included in the calculated budget. It's as I said, it's in the budget. You should include just the consumables and the logistics, the travels, the consumables. Let's say the consumable costs.
You will need to consider the time you spend during the collaboration with the pilot lines, just the time you need for the meetings, and in case you have to travel to the place where is the pilot line to see the trials, etc. But not exactly, you do not have to consider the use, as Petros was saying.
I don't see other questions. Of course, if at any point you have a question, you can always contact us at our email. We will send an email, as I said before, to all the participants from our email, and you can feel free to reply to it or contact us through our channels, and we will be happy to answer you. Of course, we will share the presentation with you, and also the recording of the webinar. It will be made available, as well as the as I said, the most important links, the links to our projects to our site and to our SEP, to our single entry point. As well as important, let's say, dates to consider in order to apply for the open call. So I would like to thank you very much for your time, for having participated in this webinar, and we hope to have been clear in what the open call that our project offers is. And as I said, we will be happy to answer to other questions or doubts that you may have. So thank you very much, and have a good afternoon.